And we're back on the airs. How are you going? So we're here with Blind and Sighted on IPL Radio.
With Tammy and Brydon, and we do have a special guest on the air today with us. It is our second birthday here at IPL, and we've got someone who started it all.
Yes, the very, very first presenter, Gabby.
Hi! Hi guys, how are you?
Oh,
Good.
we're great.
Welcome to the Blind and Sighted.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm so thrilled and happy birthday to IPL. Fantastic community radio station that has really changed the lives of a lot of people who have volunteered there. And it sounds like you guys are having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We're 6 shows in and learning the ropes, but we are having a lot of fun with it. We've had a couple of great shows. We've had a couple of shows with a few technical issues, but we are getting a lot more fluent with it. And Tabby and I are getting really good with our banter and stuff like that. So.
Oh, well, you know what? You'll just learn to roll with the punches.
That's right. Yes, I don't usually come in very prepared. Brydon prepares all the music, I must say. He does a great job of that. And I sort of come in and have a think in my head all through the week and just wing it.
You do all the technical stuff, though. So she's typing 1 million words a minute and trying to line up all the songs and stuff. And it's like half the time I can't see what she's doing because I am blind. So it's like trying to work out our jobs as a co-host together. So I do a lot of my stuff before the show. And when I'm sitting in here, it's only just stuff to worry about gas bag and then, you know.
Yeah, no, look, you know what? Everybody has their part to play. And if someone's taking the reins on one end, I know when I was on Inspire Radio with all the presenters I've worked with, that we all sort of work together. And that's what you do. You just work as a team and you have a lot of fun and the music's the best part. I think I was the 80s and 90s girl when I was there. I played a lot of the 80s and 90s and rocked it.
Awesome.
Gabby, do you ever have any parties over at your house?
I have quite a few parties.
Well,
hey, hopefully my playlist is still on that computer there. So if you have a look at the computer, you might actually find my playlist in there. So help yourself.
Oh, so that might be what I hear around the corner then now and then.
Yeah, maybe because I'm from a country music background, so I started the show with sneaking in a few country songs, but Tammy's like, nah. So we played our last show was more like a pub rock, sort of Aussie rock sort of background, and it seemed to work a lot better. We had a lot more feedback at that, so I think our show's going to be more designed around that, I think.
Oh, that's awesome. That's the way to do it. Make sure you play a bit of noise work, so otherwise I won't be listening.
Absolutely. So, Gabby, how did you feel the first time?
When I first came on?
Yes.
When I first came on air?
Can you remember? Yeah, and yes.
Look, it's like anything. You get a little bit nervous, a little bit scary, but then I remembered, you know what, nobody can see me.
Oh, yes, so you use that
I could have, you know what, in all honesty, I could have been sitting there in my underwear and nobody would have known. So to me, I just
there's a couple of funny stories Brydon would love to tell you about me running across and saying I was wearing my thong. But I actually meant a thong.
I just thought she was going to get cold feet. It was winter.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, that would have been a sight to see at IPL.
It was in my house.
Oh, look, it was definitely a momentous moment when we first did our first live broadcast from Leghorn Street. I still remember it was a little bit rocky to start with. We did have a bit of a technical difficulty, but once we took off, we really took off, and thankfully we had a lot of support from the community, and you know, I mean, Tris and Paul and all the guys that have worked really hard to make Inspire Radio. They are the heart and soul of it, and it's the whole of that. Oh, look, the IPL. It really is. It's all down to Tris. So he's done a fantastic job there, and I'm more than proud to say that I was there for the beginning.
That's so nice.
So how did you get involved with to start? How did you hear about it yourself, or did you want to do radio, or was it something you were just chucked into?
Yeah. Well, actually, a few years I was looking to go back and study because I wanted to get into. I'd done public relations and I did actually want to get into radio broadcasting. And then I actually seen Tris because I was a stay-at-home mum. Tris had a post up looking for volunteer radio presenters.
Oh,
that's right. You know what?
To mine, I must say, Gabby. Yes. Oh wow.
Yeah. Yeah, and so I just, sent him a message, and he just gathered up a few people. We had a sort of like a quick sort of group interview, and he ran over what his dreams and hopes were for IPL and all the things that he'd like to accomplish there, and gave us a bit of a background story on him. And we all came in, and honestly, we were all from all different kinds of diversities, and some people had background experience in radio. Some people had a background experience in mental health. Some of us, like myself, had the marketing, the public relations part of it. So it was just like a mixture of all different kinds of people. And the uniqueness of it was that we all had our own sort of mental health things that we had gone through ourselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So, me personally, I've always been honest about it. When I was on air, I had generalised anxiety disorder.
Right.
So I'm a little bit of a panicker.
Me too.
And I've always, it's a struggle. We were all different people with different things going on, and so we went for an interview, and then from there, Trish started. I think we actually started doing a little bit of home recording, so we went back to. I think a lot of it was done through Trish and a few other people's homes, and we did a bit of practicing at home, and we recorded a lot of our shows. So a lot of our shows were never live. A lot of them were actually just recorded, and we'd be in a room for 3 hours just with no listeners, just
recording.
Doing shows, and then we would then get those shows and give those to Trish and the team, and they would go ahead and get together something, and we would start mucking around a little bit with those sort of things, and then eventually, we got Leghorn Street and decided, all right, we're going to go live, and we did, and from there we've had some pretty amazing experiences. I think in that time, we've interviewed. We've had. I'll give you a rundown. We had Mark Mcgowan.
Yes, I'd love to hear who you've interviewed.
We had Mark Mcgowan, Matt Gresham, Dr. Peter Ritchie from Bondi Vet. We had.
Hang on a sec, wow, hang on a sec.
We had Paul Papalia. We had Roger Cook. We've had a lot of the local councils. We've had a load of interviews. We've had from one of the presidents for Share the Dignity. So we had the Maori ladies who do the Feed It Forward, which help out with the homeless. We've done some really great interviews, and it just it was an amazing experience, and we've had authors, all sorts of things, and then we've done a lot of live shows. So we went out and we did a lot of shows at shopping centres, and we really sort of put ourselves out there. Unfortunately, my story of it came to an end because I had to go back to work because, thanks to the cost of living, I had to go back to work. I had to start, and being that, unfortunately, at this point in time, that Inspire Radio was still sort of running just on, community donations, so it wasn't a paid position. It had to remain voluntary. But if I could still be there, I would be there, and I'd love to come back one day because some of my best memories are from being at IPL.
If you ever feel like coming and joining us on our show, you're quite welcome. We'll listen to some 80s.
Look, guys, if you ever want to help getting some interviews, I know a few people that would still love to come on and have an interview. And I'm pretty sure Dr. Peter Ritchie would be keen to come back as well.
Oh, my gosh. Gabby, I'm coming over to visit you very soon.
Well, technically, see, he's actually my cousin. So if you ever want an interview.
But I want to be in the flesh, though, right?
He's lovely. He does a lot of work. He's just got back from Wolf Creek, of all places.
Now we're getting the story here. Wolf Creek.
Well, he's actually come back, thank God. But no, he was actually up there. He was up there, doing the desexing of the Indigenous communities, the dogs up there.
Yeah.
So to try and control the dog population. So he can share information with listeners like that, and he's happy to answer any pet advice if anybody wants some. So if you guys are ever up for an interview, give me a message.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much. So, can you remember who the first person was that you interviewed, Gabby? I think you did mention it before.
Oh, the first person I actually interviewed.
Or you can.
Oh gosh, I had a list of them. I actually had a list. I made a bet with Trish that once I'd done so many interviews, I would I would treat myself to something. I think I've done over 60 interviews.
Wow.
But who was my... I can't remember who my first.
Oh, tell us what Mike Mcgowan was like, if you can.
Yeah, nerve-wracking, you know.
Yeah, for you.
He's lovely. He is,
Yes,
and he's great to interview. He's very professional, and he's to the point. And I think he's somebody that you don't want to... I knew that he was already, at the time when we had interviewed him, he was going through all the kerfuffle with the Clive Palmer problem. Yes. And he was getting so much media attention as it was. I just wanted to sort of steer clear of that and just focus on what he wanted and what he felt, you know, was best for the Rockingham community and in regards to mental health as well. But he's a really nice guy. He comes in with security guards, so that can be very it's definitely different. The other great one you want to get an interview with, I actually love interviewing him, is Roger Cook.
Roger Cook, yeah.
We actually see him
at the pub quite often with his wife.
He is one of the most down to earth best interviews you can do. He's funny.
Yes.
Madeline King, she's brilliant as well. She's a great interview. Yep. She can have a bit of a giggle as well. There's just things that I think a lot of listeners don't know off air. Before we get on air, obviously, we get to know who we're interviewing, and it's just, they make your interviews very comfortable. So I found that, that Roger Cook and Madeline King were probably up there as one of my top ones. The other good one was Matt Gresham. He was great. He did his interview. He was one of our first ever phone interviews, and he is very musician. Very passionate. He's actually just had he hasn't had a baby, but his girlfriend had a baby not long ago. I suppose he would be great to have a chat to as well, but he was very open and upfront about a lot of his mental health issues. And really, really nice guy to interview and quite a sweetie. So, you know, you just, I don't know. And then just some of the organisations out there, you know, like the Share the Dignity and what they do for, you know, women in shelters and that to help with their personal hygiene and just the stories that come out. There's some really beautiful ones. When we did the Feed It Forward, the Maori ladies from...
Were they from they're not the Nans on a Mission, because there is another community.
Yes. They did. They are. There is Nans on a Mission, but I think the Feed It Forward is sort of like off from that. But they are one of the most beautiful people to interview as well. Then they get on the phone. They actually do a blessing in their language, and it's very very heartfelt. So, but I'd say probably one of my top favourite interviews, though, other than Roger Cook and that, was probably when I interviewed Santa. And Santa. I didn't.
Santa.
Yeah, actually, I didn't actually interview him. At the time, my little girl did. She was 7, and I brought her in with me, and I got her to do a show with me, and she interviewed Santa. And I think there's still actually a copy of it on the system, and it is...
Oh, that's adorable. We've got to try and find that.
We will.
Oh, we still listen to it. We still, we still sit back, and my daughter has never, ever, ever forgotten that experience, but he was amazing, our Santa. He's actually called on his Facebook page. If you look him up, he's called Christoph Kringle, and he does a lot of appearances. He's local to Kwinana, and he lives and breathes Santa. Oh, he's amazing.
So, Gabby, I believe you interviewed quite a few young people also through your time. One was Would you like to speak? About, there was
Saren. So she had Saren at the time. She was 9, I believe, and she had neurofibromatosis. Where they grow the cysts throughout all over their body, and NS1, and we interviewed her to help her mum Donna, because they were trying to raise money to get a grant to do a camp. And we interviewed Donna and Sarah, and it was an amazing interview, and I'm getting goosebumps now because it was quite, as a mother myself, it was quite an emotional experience.
Moving.
It's like
because Saren had she has a tumour growth on her heart as well, and I think she's got a couple in her brain. But it was her outlook that made things inspiring, because
she was 9 at the time too. Did you say?
Oh, it was truly special. But anyway, from that interview, we ended up sharing that interview with all the NF1 community in Australia and Western Australia, and Donna actually got all the votes she needed, and thankfully she won the grant, so she was able to organise the camp to take the kids away.
Wow,
so it was all thanks to Inspire Radio as well. It was so nice to be a part of that and to be able to give that to them. We've done some really good ones. The kids are always great. We've done Quinton, the Cupcake King. I don't know if anyone's heard about him, located in Mandurah. He raises money for telethon. So he sells cupcakes.
Yes.
And every year I think he raises anywhere from about 10 to 12 grand in selling cupcakes. Wow. And yeah, he was a charmer. He came on air. He's only little, and they get him to stay, and the kids love it. They just have an absolute ball when they get on air.
Oh, I think I'd love it.
Kids are the best. They're just pure.
Yeah.
They're just pure souls, and you get them on air and they just want to have fun. We've had another one.
The power of our listening skills to promote that and then also make that camp happen. So, passing the word through something like this, Inspiring Passionate Lives Radio, that is reaching out to these people and they are supporting it. So it is making things happen, and it is the hard work of people and volunteers who want to make it happen for these things to happen.
Absolutely. Look, it's all about everybody deserves their time in the sun. Mm-hmm. Everybody. Yeah. Anything that they're doing, whatever they're doing, if they're doing something good out there and they're trying to make a difference, and everybody, I believe, deserves to be admired for it, and there was a lot of people we had who would come forward and say, well, I know someone who's doing this, I know someone who's doing that. There was another one who was Harmony, and she was raising money. She was collecting clothes and sleeping bags and things to give to the homeless.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So she was also 9. So, and we had her come on air with her mum Ange. So she was with Harmony's Matters, I think, and that was another one that we did, and yeah, that was brilliant as well. So the kids, just to see kids doing things as well, but it just, everybody deserves their chance to get their story out there, and I don't think anybody has to be a superstar or anything like that. You just got to have a goal. And you just got to have a good heart.
Yeah.
Gabby, you sound wonderful. I'm just going to cut to a song, and then
we'll come back if you want to hang out.
Would you be able to hang out?
Sure.
I have so many more questions for you, and love to speak to you more. But this song is for you, Gabby, because I think this is what you're like. Hello, and we're back. Hi, Gabby. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Awesome. Sorry, Gabby. No. I'm just looking. I'm looking at Brydon, but Brydon actually doesn't know that I'm looking at him.
Yeah. I was going to say.
I squeeze his knees because I don't want to interrupt you. I thought maybe you wanted to ask something first, or would you like me to?
No, you can carry on.
Okay.
You've been doing a good job.
All right. Oh, thank you. That's very nice of you to say that. Even though, we were speaking just off air with Gabby and about some tips that she was giving us as a radio presenter. So, Gabby, would you like to share with us and some of our listeners what were some of the things that you learnt through your time on the radio?
So one of the biggest things is, unfortunately, when it comes to the radio, we got a few opportunities to actually learn from actual, FM radio presenters as well, who gave us some chance to do some on-site learning. And I think the problem is that when you get on air, it's hard at the moment because I'm not you guys, so I'm sort of going off what is coming out of my mouth at the moment. But the biggest thing is to plan. So, to have an idea of what your shows are going to be. So if there's anyone out there right now who's thinking that they want to come on to Inspire IPL Radio and they want to do this, you must plan your shows, because otherwise you sort of get on air, and we found a lot of this, and there was always a little bit of controversy, I think, as there is in any sort of situation or organisation sometimes, that a lot of us would get on air, including myself, and sometimes we just babble crap.
That's what our show's about.
And you've got to think about what your listeners want. You can't be worrying about what you want. You need to be thinking about, what do my listeners want? What is going to engage their interest? What is going to have them asking questions? How can I invite them into the conversation? And that's a lot of what we struggled with in the beginning as well, is because we all wanted to get on air and play music and have a giggle. But the most important thing is to always think about is, how can I strike up a conversation with my listeners? And the best way to do it is to invite them in and keep things, like I said, keep it local as well. Sometimes, we need to look at going a little bit smaller and going, hey, what do you guys think about what's going on with the Kwinana Jetty?
Absolutely.
That's a big...
local Kwinana and Rockingham
I'm very
areas.
passionate, yes.
Exactly. And that invites your listeners into a conversation, and that was something we had to learn to do. We had to put it out there. But, we learned a lot of way to be, I suppose, unbiased.
Yes.
And try to have an opinion without having an opinion.
Yes.
And that is what a lot of radio presenting is. It's sort of just putting that out there and inviting the listener in. And what we did a lot of as well is, one thing we did when we were working with the kids was we actually used to have Success Primary School come in a lot. I know you guys have Bertram, I believe it is now, who's coming in, which is like fantastic. And we had a lot of Success Primary School coming in, and we learnt a lot about what Success Primary School do. We had the kids in and all the different things that they were doing, and different groups, so you had your IT group and then your sports group, and we spoke about these kids about what their aspirations were, what were their goals, what did they love about their school, and what did they think about using technology in school. And it was fantastic, and you sort of have to think about that when you're on air, and as much as people think when they want to go and volunteer for radio station, I want to get on there and I want to listen to music and I want to have fun. And it is about having fun, but it's also remembering that you cannot just get up there and just babble. You've got to invite your listener in. But we had to learn that, and it's a learning process with it.
Yeah.
So I say that now, one thing we got told, and it's true, plan your shows, because it makes it so you're not left with dead air.
Yes,
you're not sitting there sort of going, I wonder what we should talk about now.
Tammy and I have no room to speak, because we do speak a lot.
And I sort of fill the air with some banter.
But you know what? It's all baby steps, and it's all like, you guys are in the infancy stage, and as you grow along, you get better and you get better and you get better, and you start to plan things, and that's why I encourage anyone who is out there, who's listening right now, who wants to come and volunteer, come and give it a go.
Yeah, come in and see Tris. He's very open.
Exactly, give it a go.
Wonderful man,
shows, yes,
absolutely. Yes.
Because you've got to remember, you all bring something special to the table. Yeah. And when we add a little bit of this in, a little bit of that in, you're going to make something really amazing. And everybody's good at something, It may not seem like it, but we all are good at something. And I think you guys are doing a great job presenting.
Thank you, Gabby.
I got no criticisms whatsoever.
All right, the text.
But I think I burped on air once. I think I might have sworn and burped on air a couple of times when I was on air. So I'm not the one to criticise.
I sort of bring it down a level now and then, but there's sort of jokes because we would hope that some young listeners are listening to us right now. There's sort of like the Bart Simpson sort of humour where it goes hopefully over their head a little bit.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
We're community with the Blind and Sighted Facebook group and stuff, and we reach out to them and interact with them a fair bit, and we're trying to build out that little group along with the IPL group as well, and
exactly
segments during the day, and we have our little fun jokes and stuff like that, and encourage what's coming up in our lives, because Tammy's with the netball and stuff like that in coaching, and I'm president of the Kwinana Rhythm Country Music Club and stuff, so we've always got things that are coming up and are relevant to what we are doing, but also relevant to the community as well. That's
beautiful. See, and you know what? You're a big inspiration. We always sort of took pride when we were there that we were never, no one ever missed out on a chance to get on air, you know, no matter what your mental or physical disability was. I know he's still there, and bless him, I loved him. And Jack, he was just...
he's the show before.
He's
We actually went out to
gorgeous.
disabled karaoke with him
hello,
last Saturday.
Jack.
Hey, Jack, big shout
Oh,
out,
I
mate.
love Jack. You know, got a real soft spot for Jack.
Oh,
So
he's a sweetie.
we used to have a bit of a chat on air, me and him, and I think I still got him on my Facebook. So you know,
I'm getting messages every
he was a
morning and every
sweetie.
night from Jack, so that's really nice.
Yeah, we were out with him last
And
Saturday night.
Yes, we did go. He invited us out on Saturday night.
He's a good boy, and he's the reason that, you know, that we keep doing this as well, because it gives him something, you know.
Station's for, yeah.
Exactly. I think we can all get up there and we can all look pretty and do things that, you know, like, and you know, we all aspire to be something that is beyond what really who we really are, you know, and we are who we are. So just be you. Our actual our show was Keep It Real. And that was what it was all about, me and my other presenter at the time. And it was all about just being who we were, and we had a really great following. I had mums, you know, because I'm a mum. I had mums from my local school who would come up to me and say, "Oh, you know, we love listening to you on air," and we kept it, just keep it about who you are, and people will love it. And, you know, that's all you have to do. But yeah, the biggest thing, if I could say to anyone else, just make sure you just always plan your shows. So I sort of have a plan and say, this is what I want to be doing for this hour, this is what I want to be doing for this hour, this is what I want to touch on. And
out like that, but we're still filling in the blanks. It's only our 6 shows, so we've got like a timeline up there, but it's just filling in the little spots. Yeah,
I am a bit of an person.
And I could come in and say, this is what we're going to do today, and then all of a sudden Tammy's like, nope, we're doing this. And it's like,
Jack,
someone's the boss.
No. It is definitely not me who's the boss. Brydon does the planning stuff of the music, and definitely I do roll with the chat and the banter.
Yeah, we work really well together. Yeah, because
I think you guys are going to be fantastic, and I think you are going to have a lot of fun. And I think that IPL is it's going to be around for a long time, and I look forward to seeing what's happening, and hopefully one day I can come back down there. I'd love to. I'd love to be able to give another day. At this point in time, obviously, I've had to sort of commit to going back to work, and I also look after my grandmother, so that's, I've got a lot of other things going on, but yeah, well, like I said, you are going to have so much fun. You're going to have some amazing experiences. You're going to meet some amazing people.
Really meeting great people.
And it's great. And Tristan and his dad Paul and everyone down there, they're lovely people, and they become family, and you sort of always hold them close to your heart. So
definitely, and we do encourage everyone to support the IPL Radio, because it is totally volunteer and stuff like that, and there is so many bills. The more you get hanging around here, you realise the expense of keeping this place open and running it, and it's all just off total donations and the generosity of the community, and we're all volunteers, but we still need to keep the lights on and keep the computers working and stuff like that. So, I mean, people who do want to volunteer, just definitely reach out to the IPL Radio.
Sounds like Gabby has a few contacts, don't you, Gabby? You got a few contacts in high places.
Look, I remember when I was there, we used to have the people from the Kwinana Council who actually said it to us at the time that if we were interested in a job in the future, getting involved in their marketing and things like that they would be interested in speaking to us. So, it's networking as well. People should not be looking at a volunteer position and going, well, I'm just working for nothing, therefore I don't have to put any effort in. I'm not getting
any. Because you love it and you're passionate. Yeah.
Oh, look, it was my stepping stone. It got me. I went from being a stay-at-home mum for 7 years.
Yes.
To suddenly I was back out in the workforce, in a sense, even though I was volunteering, I was out, I was networking, I was meeting people, and that is the best way to start. So if you've not been working for a while, get involved, because even if you don't want to be a radio presenter, you can get involved in administration. I believe is Sunny still there?
Yes, Sunny's still there.
Yes. Oh, hi, Sunny.
The place open.
Yes.
Well, Sunny's another one, you'll go down there, you can get involved in the administration, which, it gives you that experience of working behind a desk, greeting people and working in an office environment. And that's something you can put on your resume. So as opposed to sitting at home and not putting something on there, you could be getting out and getting involved and meeting people. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a big person on encouraging people that if you're looking for something, you know, you're thinking about getting back in the workforce, but you haven't got anything on your resume, then start with volunteer, because that's how you do it. That's how you network. And it was one of the best things I honestly did for myself. It was good for my self-esteem, and it was good for me to have, like, an outlet, you know, where I could meet new people, because I had been just a mum at home for 7 years. So I hadn't.
And yeah.
oh yeah, Peppa Pig it was at the time, and Paw Patrol, and it was a lot of that. I think they still watch Bluey now, and I'm like, oh God, it's just one thing. It's pretty good actually. I'll be honest, I watch Bluey and I actually really enjoy it, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm an adult, but I look forward to the next episode.
We might.
But yeah, no, you know, there's it's just a chance for people to get out and get involved in something, and you know, you don't know where it can lead. If you don't take opportunities, how would you know?
Absolutely.
Well,
So, Gabby, are you able to come back after a few songs, or would you like to say goodbye, or how are you going for time?
I can stay on for a little bit more, and then I've got to go because I've got kids to feed.
Okay, well, I'll do one. I'll just do a song, and then we'll come back to you. Okay?
We'll come in and say
worries.
goodbye. So we'll play one song, and then we'll come and say goodbye to you.
No worries.
All right, welcome back to our listeners on the Blind and Sighted Show with Tammy and Brydon. We've been blessed today to have the first ever presenter on the IPL Radio, Gabby, with us, and it's our second birthday here at IPL. So
July 2020 was when they started. Is that about? Did you present on a particular date? Can you remember, Gabby? I'm asking all the questions.
What was it? I honestly, Trish knows, because Trish always reminds me.
I think Trish is saying it is today.
Yeah, July 2020.
It's the 20th.
Well, it's today.
Yeah.
Chris is always like, oh, you know, we've been broadcasting live for this amount of time, and do you remember when we went live? And I'm like, yeah, I remember.
Oh, yes.
But no, I think it always sort of sits in your mind that you got to be a part of that, and it was a really good experience, and I really think that if the community just backs IPL and, you know, get the guys a couple of, you know, a couple of bucks. I think it's tax refundable.
Sure,
so, you know, if the community,
such a good word.
Exactly. Yes. Keep the doors open, and allow that opportunity for people to come in and have a go, you know, and let people build their resumes. There's so much potential there, and I really hope it keeps going.
Absolutely.
Yeah, us too. So we really appreciate your time, and we know you are busy, so we will let you go, but we do appreciate you coming on air with us and being one of our second interview we've ever had, and probably
absolutely.
One of our most exciting already.
Yeah, but I mean, we did interview Kathy, but Kathy Carver.
Kathy Carver was one of my great friends who plays music with us. We had a few technical issues during that interview, so we're glad we haven't had too many hiccups today, even though we had Tris watching us. So.
Yeah.
You know what? Like I said, guys, you guys are going to thrive, and I think everything you're doing, and I love the name of your show, by the way. I think it's really great, and I think that you guys are going to be absolutely awesome. And like I said, IPL is an amazing non-for-profit organisation that's helping so many people in the community. It's promoting so many things and so many organisations, and it's really getting the word out there, and it's giving people a voice, and that's what we need to do. We need to give the community a voice.
Yes.
So I think
Tammy
you guys...
and I will be raising that banner out there in the community and trying to get folks to listen to and support this IPL radio. So.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. And, you know, we could bring up a couple of the issues we spoke about off the break.
We'll leave that for when you come in and see us.
Yeah. Oh, don't worry. I can't help myself. I'm a little bit of a pot stirrer, so...
we always controversy, don't we?
I think I might be the Ollie Peterson of the radio world. If anyone knows Ollie Peterson from 6PR, I'm pretty sure that's me.
Oh, good. Well, I'm definitely having you. We can both get Brydon blushing.
See how red I can go.
I've done some funny things. Don't worry. I'm glad Tris wasn't here and he wasn't recording it at the time. But thank you so much, Gabby, for being on our show today. We really appreciated it.
And good luck with everything. We hope to see you around.
I'm going to here's some bugs.
Thank you. I will come down and see you guys soon.
Thank you, Gabby, and we'll pass our love on to Tris for you.
Thank you.
I think this is a very appropriate ad that I'm going to put on now because I can hear children in the background, Gabby.
Thanks, Gabby.
Oh, I know, they're driving me mad.
I can't wait to
All the best with that, mate.
All the best. Bye.